Mailman is here, formerly of the Trump White House. Johanna Maska back with us, formerly of the Obama White House. All right, Johanna, you were already on the Johanna, you were already on the show. So May, you get the first response here. But to be fair, right, they've got the letter grade system, but we are now going to a school index system where schools are given a ranking of 0 to 100.
Right. Well, this is just the most anti-parent, anti-poor, anti-minority policy that I could possibly conceive. So yes, the best reason that they could come up with is that, well, we already do this index thing, so now we're not going to give a grade. That's just way too much work, which of course doesn't make any sense. If you give a school an 84, then you can just say otherwise known as a B. So I went to the Michigan website and I tried to figure out what the difference was. And I looked at Detroit Community High School, and their proficiency grade was an F because less than 1% of students are proficient in reading or in math. If I looked at their index score is a 1.37. But who knows what a 1.37? Nobody knows. Turns out it's out of 100, and you can probably figure it out. But that is the point. You are not supposed to know. And who is that going to hurt? It's not wealthy parents. It is the students whose parents don't have the time and don't have the resources to learn what a 1.37 means. And they deserve to have good schools too.
Johanna, it seems almost like grading on a curve now in Michigan, huh?
I think we have significant challenges at our public schools. I'm a public school mom. My son is in public school, and not all elected leaders have their children in public schools. And I do think that if we're going to support public schools, we need to put our own human capital there. And there are substantial issues, but a lot of those issues, kids are coming to school and they don't have what they need to learn. So we had Hugh, my son, in a Title I, failing school, as people would think, in TK. And I myself got to see with the LA Promise School all of the challenges that these teachers were up against. The kids weren't speaking English when they're coming in. They're trying. The teachers are trying. And look, any bad teachers, Mrs. Obama writes about this in her book, they need to be exited. And we need to figure out how we can reform these things. But too often we are throwing our teachers under the bus, and we're not giving them the power because we're creating more bureaucracy that often doesn't actually do the oversight that we need it to do when we're looking at this. So if you have an F school, nobody's going to send their kids there. And we need to fix that school.
Well, hold on. But by dint of the situation, a lot of people are forced to send their kids to an F school,
You're right.
And I think if you call things what they are, it's amazing how embarrassed people are to be the principals of F schools or teach at F schools versus a school with a 1.37. I think what's happened in Michigan, and look, I love Michigan, it's a great state. Third grade language arts, pre and post pandemic, students that are proficient down by 4%, third grade math down by 5%, sixth grade. Language arts went from 67% of students proficient to 37%, a 30-point drop. Sixth grade math, 7% dropped. What I think is interesting, you think about how controversial Gretchen Whitmer is in Michigan. If the issues of schools are not going to be the major political issue for 2024 in the same way that culture and race was so much of an issue and COVID was in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, I think Glenn Youngkin shows you that when you run on improving the schools, when you run about caring about children, then you can win in even a very blue, purplish blue state. But this is the problem with a strong teachers union. So the Michigan Teachers Union put $2.5 million into Gretchen Whitmer's campaign. I mean, that might not seem like a lot for a presidential campaign, but it sure is a lot for a governor's race. And that's what this really is about, it's not pro-teacher, it's pro-union, because the more teachers are in the public schools, the more they're paying dues, the more the teachers union are getting, and the more that they're able to give to liberal politicians who then, turn around and give them handouts, not to mention the $12.5 million that the Michigan Teachers Union got from PPP money that they weren't entitled to. They had to get sued by a private entity and say, yeah, sorry, I guess we weren't supposed to take that and give it back.
Well, and no, I shouldn't say it's no surprise, but the teachers union in Michigan strongly supported this change. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.